what always precedes before the how? What needs to change always precedes before the how. Once you have a vision of what can change, then you can start working on how to change it. Don't think about the how before you think about the what. Because the how will fear you away from everything that you want to change. Three expressions of this is the courage to say no. Mike Napa, Napa Know-How, CEO of Napa Know-How, he said, opportunity does not equal obligation. Basically what he's saying there is as a young leader, as someone who sees a whole bunch of opportunity, or as someone who came in freshman year, or as someone who just is in their junior year and is starting to see more and more opportunities open up, or senior year they're seeing college after college open up, it doesn't mean that you have to go to everyone. You actually can't go to everyone.
What?
And opportunity doesn't equal obligation. Like you can't choose every one of them, and you shouldn't choose every one of them. Pick a few. Choose those. And something else that might be helpful is Jim Collins' Good to Great. Have some of you read that? No. Okay. Jim Collins, perfect. That's good. Jim Collins' Good to Great has a stop doing list. So a lot of us have a to-do list, right? Everyone have a to-do wall. A lot of you have a to-do list, or you have a mental to-do list. You're like, dang, all this got to get done.
It's in my mind.
Right? Or you have a planner, or you have something like that. I know Mike can make a to-do list every week, every day. And Jim Collins puts this idea forth of a stop doing list of things that you need to stop doing that aren't being done. So that you're able to pursue things that are fruitful for you, or things that you want to pursue. The concept of not choosing good things, but you're able to choose great things. Lack of focus eventually translates into loss of vision. Kind of talking about like losing your passion. When you put your focus on too many different areas, you aren't able to focus on one thing, and therefore you lose the passion for the one thing you thought you loved the most because you said yes to a whole bunch of other things. A lack of focus tends to translate to a loss of vision. And just choose your opportunities carefully. The next expression of this is courage to face the current reality. Leadership doesn't begin just as a vision, it begins with getting people to confront the brutal facts and act on that explanation. Jim Collins again is basically saying, when you look at what's being done and you look at the loss of it, or you look at numbers, and we'll give you a realistic thing. So, let's try this. H12. H12 has 7 to 10 new people every week. For the last 16 weeks, that's 160 people. We had bigger weeks and some smaller weeks. We haven't grown by 160 people. That'd be crazy. We have over 300 people there. We have 350 people there. That's a fact that me and Floyd had to confront and say, okay, what do we need to change to make that better? So what does that look like in your life? What are some of the brutal facts that we look at and say, man, this just needs to change? Like, how many people are really, like, coming to Christ after school? How many people are really, whatever you're passionate about, how are you really scoring? How are you evaluating yourself? What do the brutal facts look like? These are just some commandments that Andy Stanley gives for this kind of topic. He says, when looking at the brutal truth or the brutal reality, it's you can't pretend, You can't turn a blind eye. You can't exaggerate. You can't shoot down the bearer of bad news. You can't hide a blind eye. You can't hide behind the numbers. Ignore the constructive criticism or isolate yourself. All these things will kind of pull you away from what the reality is, and you'll be able to move forward into leading the same way you were, leading in systems that you were living in and being very comfortable with those systems because you think that they're still working. We still have 7 to 10 new people coming every week. That's awesome. Why are they coming back? What's the reality? And most ministries can't say that. Most ministries can't say that they have 7 to 10 people every week. Some ministries are some of the youth pastors that were here last weekend were very excited to have 7 to 10 people in their youth ministry. That's pretty crazy. So what does that look like in your life? The last thing is courage to dream. Courage to dream. And this is kind of something that I'm big about. I love dreaming. I love just casting vision and seeing what could happen and seeing where it could happen, but it takes a lot of courage. And I think part of it is because all things come into fruition twice. One, when they're a concept in your mind, and two, when they're physically present in the world. So when you make them come to be. So when you're dreaming, you're looking at things, and you have to be courageous to dream because you're looking at things that people don't like to change. People love the way things are done. And when you start changing them, it messes them up. And if it doesn't mess anyone up, you're changing the wrong thing. Hollywood is too important. So what's changed? Dream, no small dream, for they stir not the hearts of men. And the basic point of this is to dream big, because big dreams will bring people behind you. When David went out, he conquered Goliath, and his dream was to chase after God and not have anyone nullify God in his army. And people can follow that. It wasn't just a deeply man, it was an honor to God of the nation. That's a big dream. And it took him a lifetime to try to live out, and he didn't. He tried to do it the whole lifetime, and still continue to live that out in heaven, and that's awesome. We're excited to be there. But what is your dream? What's your big dream? Maybe it's for your school, maybe it's for H12, maybe it's for your life group, maybe it's for a connection group. What's the next way you're going to lead? Maybe it's frontline, maybe it's the prayer team. That really needs a new name, the prayer team. Maybe not. But that's just kind of a brief. It's kind of what we're going to cover. That's actually all we're going to cover. The last bit is just this. I want to give you guys some questions that you guys can think through. I printed them out, so it's easier for you guys to know how to write them down. Otherwise, I'll say them a couple times.